Drink Cinema! Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Two Drink Cinema. Two brothers review movies 2 drinks at a time. Hello, Brett.
Hello, Lee. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Juno. Let's go straight into Juno.
Juno, 2007.
2007. I'm going to move over a little bit. Something's shot a little bit more. 2007. So 15 years since Elliot Page played Juno and Michael Cera played Michael Cera.
Yes.
And
Jennifer Garner played Jennifer Garner, and
Yep.
Alison Janney played Alison Janney.
Yep.
And I assume the friend played the friend. I don't know.
We're not going to talk about Jason Bateman till later because there's stuff to say.
Yes, there is. Plenty to say about the movie.
I have a cocktail, and it's a bit of a bastardization.
Yes.
That's not a comment on Juno's kid being
God.
a bastard.
As parent.
So I found on Esquire magazine
Yes.
a cocktail called a Juno,
Right.
which is that writer's version of an Alaska cocktail. I looked up an Alaska cocktail, and it's really not.
Okay.
It's really not their version of an Alaska because it's a new cocktail.
Yes. Okay.
And even though Juno, the character, isn't named after the city in Alaska,
But there is a city in Alaska.
there is a
called
city in
Juno.
Alaska, and that's the joke that Jason Bateman makes that Juno doesn't laugh at.
I don't think it was. Was it
Well, I
meant
don't
to be
know.
a joke?
It was a joke in the movie. Like Jason
Okay.
Bateman goes, "Oh, the city in Alaska," and she just goes, "No," and then they move on.
Yeah.
Obviously named after Jupiter's wife. I couldn't find one named after the
Greek.
Greek goddess. No, Roman goddess.
Roman?
Yep. Juno is Jupiter's wife.
Oh, Jupiter's wife, not Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus's wife.
Not Zeus's wife. But I'm pretty sure juniper berries are named after Juno, the god.
Oh, okay.
So this has gin in it, which is made from juniper berries.
Right.
Okay? So
Is it meant to look... it doesn't quite... The camera doesn't quite do it justice. It looks quite like pee.
Yes, it does look like if we poured it on a pregnancy test, we'd get a result.
What is in a Juno cocktail?
This Juno cocktail has gin, Galliano vanilla liqueur,
Okay.
which I'm very glad of, because when it said Galliano, I was like, I'm not doing licorice.
Because I was going to say, if you said licorice, I would say, just don't make one for me.
Yeah,
That's fine.
no, neither of us are fans of licorice, so I'm very glad it's Galliano vanilla liqueur.
Yes.
And this one has Cointreau from
You just think... You're like...
the Esquire article features celery bitters,
Right.
but no.
I wouldn't even know what that is.
No, well, it's bitters made out of celery, I assume. It has
Okay.
it has notes of apple, those celery bitters, apparently.
Okay, good.
But this doesn't. We just put normal
So
Agnostura
vanilla,
bitters.
gin.
So vanilla, gin, orange, celery with a twist of lemon.
Yep.
My lemon rind hasn't twisted. It's just a slab of lemon rind
Just
in
a
mine.
slice of lime. Lemon.
So yes, we have a
Okay.
urine-looking cocktail with a dash of
Could be quite
red
sweet.
through it. Could be quite
Cheers.
sweet. Cheers, let's go.
Ooh, Jesus.
There's no mixer, so it is all alcohol.
Oh, I can feel it. Oh, it's burning.
It is all alcohol.
Oh,
I'm okay with it.
the vanilla aftertaste kind of makes it okay.
Yeah.
Can't taste orange. Oh, a little bit. I don't know. We'll keep sipping it. It's definitely a sipping drink.
Yeah, it is, because it is. I looked at the recipe and I thought, have I forgot a mixer? But no, there's no
Could have
mixer.
done what I did with one of the most recent ones. Just go, oh shit, let me just put some soda water in it.
Ooh. All
We
right.
could be drunk by the
Let's-
H of the Archie Q De Niro score.
Let's get on with the podcast before I drink any
Oh.
more of that and get drunk.
Are we going on a thing of only doing movies that are a single word? Right?
Oh, Tootsie, Flubber,
Flubber, Tootsie,
Juno.
Mental, Juno, Gold Member.
Oh, yeah.
There's 1 hour photo in
1
there that
hour
ruins
photo.
it, but
Ruined it.
even in
better
our
pick what's
other
next.
podcast,
Oh, yeah. We're doing
we're doing one word:
Birdcage.
birdcage, Stonewall.
Stonewall.
Maybe
I have a
something
feeling
else.
I know what you're going to pick next because it's the one you wanted me to pick the week before. Follow
Right.
at Two Brothers Entertain at the Two Brothers ENT and at Rainbow Popcorn Pod for what's coming up for those ones. So, how are we rating this cocktail?
Look, I think it might grow on me, but it's I'm not enjoying it yet.
It's so alcoholic.
I'm Australian, and I like to be able to drink alcohol quickly.
Oh, you bought an air fryer.
Yes, I did.
Throw back to last week's episode where you said, I'm going to buy an air fryer.
There you go. I'm a man of
did.
my word.
Yep.
Guess what? All I've been eating all weekend is
Chips.
anything that can go in an air fryer.
That's a good size one.
Yeah,
You can air fry anything.
I air fried chicken.
I air fried sausages the other day because there were big, thick bangers for bangers and mash.
Right.
And they weren't going to be ready quick enough in just a fry pan.
You know what I've discovered? Coles,
Yep.
they sell these chicken bites,
Oh, yeah.
popcorn chicken.
Yep.
Very good in the air fryer. I've only had it for 2 days. Already discovered it's very good.
Pork belly's good in there too. Shane quite often does pork belly in there.
Got plenty of stuff in the freezer.
Air fryer.
This is so off topic, but anyway,
All right, how are we rating this cocktail? So the first,
like a one and a half.
I'm going to give it a 2. It is a sipping one. It's not bad sipping. But there's 4 shots in this cocktail.
You also didn't quite measure it properly
I
while you were
overdid.
making it.
I overdid the Galliano slightly, and I thought instead of giving us 3/4, I gave us 7.5/8. But I actually gave us a whole shot instead of 3/4.
So
there's
1.75.
There's 4.25 shots in this instead of 4 shots.
Okay.
All right.
Jesus.
I'm going to give it
For anybody listening / watching, we don't drive after this,
no.
so it's fine.
No.
Get as pissed as you want, just don't drive.
1.75. Let's do that.
Cool.
Alcohol in the movie. I only noticed the joke when she asks for a Maker's Mark up,
There was that Maker's Mark up, and
which I thought about bringing us some Maker's Mark, but neither of us are bourbon fans, so it would have just been a waste for a joke.
there's a funny bit when they're in the science class
Yep.
and the friends, the other weird, are having an argument.
Oh, they're a weird couple.
They reference having 4 Smirnoff Ices. Like, to be a teenager again.
To be a teenager in the 2000s.
Yes. And I was like, that would have been me when I was that age.
Yes.
But they only reference alcohol, and there is only one small scene where Vanessa, is that her name?
Jennifer
Garner,
Garner.
yeah.
Yep.
Is drinking a glass of red wine on her own. Other than that, it's only like alcohol is referenced. Nobody is actually drinking it on screen.
That's
So
true.
Maybe like a 0.5.
Yep. Okay. There's no character-based drinking.
Considering it mainly focuses around a pregnant teenager, there's
Yeah.
not much opportunity
That's true.
to drink.
I actually thought, should we drink a mocktail? Because it's about a pregnant girl.
And then you realised
But then I thought, no,
Brett's
4
an
shots.
alcoholic, so
I
we'll go in the
realised, no,
complete
just
other direction.
4 shots in one glass. So, yeah, it's a
It's a 2, so it's a point. Are we agreeing a 0.5?
It's a 0.5 for
alcoholicness?
alcohol in the movie because there's only 1 glass of wine scene and 2 references to very Smirnoff Ice and a bottle of Snow Peach flavoured Boone, whatever that is.
I don't know what that was either.
Boone, I reckon, is Boone the American goon?
But what? Why would it be snow pea peach flavored?
Yeah.
Or is it
Maybe
like
that's
the
like
cruiser?
a
Is it the cruiser?
or is it like that fat lamb thing?
Blech.
Yeah,
Yuck.
but flavored.
Yuck.
Or like an iced tea. Because Americans love iced tea.
You know,
That they just call tea.
I'm gonna compromise
Yep.
and say that the cocktail is a 2.
So overall,
The effectiveness of getting me drunk, it deserves an extra thing.
yeah, that's when you said, well, and if it's a story about teenagers just drink to get drunk.
That's true.
But I doubt anyone in this town is mixing this cocktail.
No, I don't know
They're
if
just
in
buying the
middle
bottle
of nowhere, Minnesota.
They're just buying the bottle of Galliano and drinking it.
Yeah. Like the
Like
guy
in
once when I went camping.
Yeah.
And these random people that were camping near us decided to just also sit around our fire. They were very weird.
You must have
people.
had a good fire.
It was all right.
Okay.
It was better than theirs, which was none.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And he was just drinking Jägermeister just straight out of the bottle. He's like, it's fine. It's almost just medicinal. He didn't say the word medicinal because he...
Medicinal.
And then he was like passing it around, saying, "Here, do you want some? Do you want some?" And I'm like, "It's 2020. No." Like, it's still kind of a pandemic.
It's 2020. We're in a pandemic, but also... I'm in my 30s.
So you're a stranger and I don't just want to chug Jägermeister.
Yeah.
I don't even like Jägermeister in bomb form.
I knew a guy who didn't really drink at all, but then discovered that he liked Wild Turkey American Honey.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's nice.
And would sip it.
Okay.
From the bottle.
Yeah.
So
that's at least... Okay, that's not really any better.
We were on a...
Put it in a glass, mate.
We were on a band...
Put it up.
We were on a band trip away.
Yeah.
And we were pre-drinking in our hostel room.
Okay. Oh, God.
And so he was just sitting in this 4-bunk youth hostel room, sipping Wild Turkey American Honey. You know this person. Sipping Wild Turkey American Honey from the bottle, while the rest of us are drinking cans of whatever we were drinking. I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off who it was.
So that's pre-drinking for him, is it?
Well, yeah,
straight up.
But also he was a tight ass. So he wasn't buying any drinks when he was out. So he drank a quarter of a bottle of Wild Turkey and then went out.
Turkey.
Maker's Mark up.
So,
all right,
the
so it's a 2.5
of Archie
of
for
A.
alcoholicness of the cocktail and the movie overall is a 2.5 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Straight onto representation. We wrote the same thing, but you wrote it more emphatically.
I wrote 2 veries and not just one very.
Very white.
You wrote very white. I wrote very, very white.
And I know it's meant to be like in this Midwestern-y kind of... Where is it actually set?
Minnesota.
Really? They don't sound like they don't sound like the people from Fargo.
St. Cloud is in Minnesota, which is, I'm pretty sure, where the Garner Batemans live.
Oh, okay.
St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Minnesota? They don't sound like they're from Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah, because
that's probably not how you say it either.
Everyone in Minnesota has to sound like Frances McDormand from Fargo.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah. So it's from Minnesota.
It
was filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia.
There's a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's the...
Elk River, Minnesota.
There's a little bit of representation, but it's not anything important. There's like the Asian girl at front of the abortion clinic. The Indian guy that runs with him.
Yeah.
But he says 2 lines.
And she says 1 scene.
Yeah. You don't see her again.
Your baby probably has fingernails.
God appreciates you, or whatever. Yeah, so it's almost a 0. Can we do a 0?
Let's do a 0.25 because it has more white people, I think, than Flubber. Not more non-white people than Flubber.
Okay. So we're comparing everything to Flubber now.
Well, that's the most recent movie I can think of that we gave a 0 for representation.
Yeah, okay.
1 hour photo. That was a back-to-back not good representation. And then Mental also wasn't.
Mental. We're not doing well with the representation.
So this is the thing, right? Representation in movies has only really been a thing a box that's needed to be ticked recently.
Mm.
Yes, it should always have happened.
Yeah.
But because we're looking at movies 10 years and older, generally, no one in the writing room of Juno is saying we should have people of colour.
But which is a problem.
Which is the problem, which is why it's getting a 0.25. But Tootsie, 1982, had people of colour.
Really, it's giving me heartburn, this cocktail.
Had people of colour in key roles.
Key-ish.
Within the setting of the movie. Like, they weren't key characters, but like the floor manager of the soap opera was a person of colour, which is a key job. It wasn't just like the one person of colour in Juno is the person working in the cafeteria at the school.
Yeah, or the people of colour in the birdcage are the help.
Yeah.
But that's a separate
podcast
movie.
At Rainbow Popcorn Pod.
So a 0.25 out of 5 for
0.25 out of 5 for representation. It's
a very white film.
It's a very white
film.
Very
white.
And obviously, Jennifer Garner and Jason Bateman are meant to be super white couple.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Even the bands they refer to are white.
Should we talk about should we talk about them now?
Look, I did not care for Jason Bateman in this movie.
No.
He was a bit nothing, and the way he kind of, I don't want to say led Juno on.
He was inappropriate.
He was a bit of a dick. Really?
Yeah. Well, one thing I think about Jason Bateman is I'm not sure. I think his appeal as an actor when being cast is that he is nothing.
Okay.
So if you think about his character in Arrested Development, he doesn't create anything funny.
The other people around him are the funny ones.
He is the straight
man. Yeah.
And so in this, I think he's a little bit that, but he's a little bit too that. And he has some funny moments, but he's still too the straight man to really make them work.
And I don't... Taking a pregnant teenager down to your basement
to listen to music
and then dance.
Yeah.
And then I'm leaving my wife.
That was, oh my God, I forgot that.
I forgot that too.
And you shouldn't be telling her that. Not only because she's a 16-year-old girl.
Yes.
But because she's giving you a baby.
But
then also to then be like, oh no, but we still give us the baby. Like,
no.
No.
It was good of Juno to be like, oh wait, he's a dick. Juno shouldn't have gone over there though in the first place.
She's also 16.
Yeah.
So she's not meant to know better.
I find it crazy that 16-year-olds can drive.
Over there, yeah. Yeah, but they have driver's ed lessons in school. So I think that makes it a little bit more okay.
That scene when it's like this and then Juno gets upset by it and he comes back up from the basement and then she's upset and then he's just like, she's just a bit hormonal, aren't you, Juno?
That's so sus.
Gaslighting.
No, but
was
also...
gaslighting a thing in 2007?
If I was Jennifer Garner, I'd just be like, I think you just molested this child in our basement.
Yeah. He doesn't seem into the situation or to her anymore.
No.
So it's like, what is he doing? I don't know. Are we meant to feel sorry for him?
No, I think you're meant to get that from the start.
Yeah.
That he's not as into this, but I think you're meant to think he's the husband that's going on with the wife because he loves her.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, he's fully checked out.
Yeah.
And he's not into it at all. And I don't think you meant to feel sorry for him because she jokes about, oh, she gave you a whole room for your stuff in your whole house.
Yeah.
Like, she's got you on a pretty long leash.
Yeah. But that's why I was like, is that meant to be like, oh, Paul Himmy's just being like almost controlled by Jennifer
Well, he
Garner?
is, but...
Not Jennifer, I shouldn't say Jennifer Garner.
Vanessa.
The character. Yeah.
Should we, speaking of, we've just said Jennifer Garner and Vanessa. Should we say something about our pronoun use?
Referring to the character of Juno
Yes.
is a she.
Is a she. The actor that played Juno is a he.
Yes. We will.
There will be some
Yes.
interchanging because sometimes we'll refer to Elliot Page and sometimes we'll refer to Juno and sometimes we'll say he and she.
Yes.
Just like we said Jennifer Garner instead of saying Vanessa.
Yeah.
All right,
Which,
that's on the
if
record.
you've listened to a few episodes, you'll realise that we do
Yes.
generally just say the actor.
But I just wanted to say that in case anyone's going to be listening and going, oh, you just used the wrong pronoun. We're just using whatever pronoun in our heads versus the character versus the actor.
Yeah.
Okay? Juno is incredibly mature about her situation.
She is, but she isn't. Like, she's kind of a bit aloof about it.
Yeah.
But that does speak to maturity.
Yeah, I think that speaks to practicality of maturity of
Yeah.
just like, well,
I'll just get an abortion.
this is it.
Oop,
I've
said
got
it. I said the A
I've
word.
got a baby. There's no point going to cry about it.
Mm.
I've got three options.
Mm.
I'll just choose them. And then she decides not to get the A word
Yes.
and go for the other A word, adoption.
Adoption.
Can I say a couple of things about the A word?
Probably.
So,
There's a lot of talk about... there's actually not too much talk about the A word other than the first bit where she goes to get... I'm saying abortion, all right? I'm not saying the A word.
yeah. Well,
Abortion. I said it.
let's come back because I actually wrote notes about that in endurance and impact.
Ooh, okay.
So
picking back up in our Archie Q De Niro score,
very white.
very wide,
We've given it
0.25.
0.25.
The C is for cry because Lee loves a cry.
So what I wrote with, if I connected to Garner more, I'd probably have moistened then. I didn't write when the then was.
Moistened is
I moistened
I moistened, yeah.
is what I'm referring to. I don't have any other parts that moisten.
I feel the same at the end when she gets the baby.
Yes.
Or was it when Jason Bateman was like, I'm leaving you by?
No, it was at the end.
Yeah. It's
But-
almost a crying.
It's almost a moistening. It's not even almost
it's not even
a cry.
So it's a point. What do
It's
you
a
reckon?
zero. Because I didn't even moisten.
I didn't cry. Nobody cried. Oh, that's a zero as well.
I would
There
have
we go.
cried about Juno. If something had happened about Juno, I would have cried.
If the
No,
movie was
actually-
written different, maybe, or made different, you could have cried. But because it's so kind of quirky,
Yeah.
you don't really feel
Yeah.
too much for most of the characters.
This movie is in the dictionary as underneath quirky 2000s indie film.
Yeah, it's just got a picture of
Yeah.
Juno.
It could only have been made in this time,
Yeah.
at the same time, in the same decade and genre as Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Fox Searchlight, right, is their indie branch.
Yes.
But if you've got Fox at the start of your movie,
Yeah.
are you really indie?
Well, it's like we want to be one with the people and be independent.
Yeah.
But we're not independent. We just give films less money. That's all it is, really.
Well, it's just we fund movies that we wouldn't normally otherwise fund.
it's
But you're still funding the
it's
movie.
maybe not their independent one, it's their artistic one.
But this is
So
not
they
an
make
art-
that at the same time they make like franchises.
Yeah, but this isn't even artistic. It's indie.
Yeah.
But Fox, yeah, I just find the fact that these major studios, all of them have indie branches, but Fox is the one that still puts Fox on it.
Yeah. So you have the movies they make to make money and the movies they make to win awards. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
And this did. Best original
It did all
screenplay.
right.
at the Oscars.
Yeah. It was nominated for Best Picture and Best Director and Best Actress. So 4 major awards.
Yeah, they are major.
I don't know Best Film. At the time, I remember thinking, this is a great film. This is great. So quirky and original. Now I'm just like, I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself with Endurance.
I think it is quirky and original. And I think we will talk about it in the way of Endurance. I think the way it addresses some of the issues is good and different.
Yes.
But on The Cry, I almost could have moistened when Vanessa got the baby.
Sorry to interrupt. With the cocktail.
Okay.
Warning. It gets worse as the cocktail gets warmer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I think I might keep these glasses
So
in the freezer.
Drink it soon.
Well,
we're going to fund you a chilled spirits cabinet.
All right. Patreon.com
/2 Drink Cinema.
I need a fridge for my glasses because I'm that bougie apparently. The crying is no crying, but it is because you don't really care about Jennifer.
No, when I almost moistened again was when Juno and Bleecker get together.
Oh, and they sing the song at the end?
Not so much the song.
Oh, not the song at the end.
Not so much the song.
Right. But when they're like, yeah, okay.
She's like, I think I love you. And then he says, can we make out now? Yeah. And then they have a little kiss.
Oh, awkward teenagers in the 2000s.
That's what got you into this mess, Juno.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of getting you into this mess, the horny scale is next on the Archie Q De Niro score, and I've written something that you love. There is
Pork
the result
sauce.
of a... There is... But there is the result of arousal.
There is result of arousal, which is pregnancy.
Pregnancy and a baby. So that's an automatic 1.
The all I see is pork swords is a very good quote as well.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting shot to have at the front of screen.
Yeah.
A whole lot of swinging teenage boys.
In a cinema. Just being like, oh, glad this isn't in 3D.
Oh, IMAX 3D.
There was more than 3Ds though.
4D.
Horny teenagers. Plenty of them going on.
Yeah.
Like almost every teenager that says a word in this movie is horny.
Well, yeah, because the fighting couple in the science lab, she's fighting that he went off to college and had sex.
Yeah.
And cheated on her.
Yeah.
While the pregnant girl, the result of arousal, is standing there.
Mm.
Leah's
horny for teacher.
Just horny full stop.
Yeah.
And is horny for the ordinariest looking teacher. Like, not even the school has a hot teacher.
Yeah.
Like the PE teacher.
Yes. And are Mark and Juno a bit horny for each other?
I don't think Juno is horny for Mark Jason Bateman. But maybe Mark is a little bit, but not in a... Maybe more in a attention way.
Oh, okay. Because he doesn't get that attention because Vanessa has completely opposite interests.
I also think he doesn't have sex with Vanessa either. I like that it's not gone into. They don't explain why she can't have babies. But it's clear.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty
clear by her reaction when he says, Juno says, "Be glad it's not you." That very she subtle. Can't have babies.
Very subtle.
Yeah,
but good.
Not bad script writing for a stripper. Diablo, ex-stripper.
She might have gone back. I don't know how many more movies she's written.
At least 3, because she does have an IMDb top 4.
Okay, good.
All I see is pork swords. Horniness.
A 3.5.
Yeah. I'm sorry that we got bored and decided to make out and then they got pregnant.
Yeah.
I do like that they're all like, it was always Juno's idea.
Yeah. It's like,
like Alison Jay says to J.K.
Whose idea do you think this was? Yeah.
It wasn't his idea. When I see that kid, I'm going to punch him in the wiener. It's not a bad impersonation of J.K. Simmons. You've done worse.
I have.
I can't believe your best impersonation to date is Gene Simmons. Not Gene Simmons. Ozzy Osbourne. Why did I say Gene Simmons?
Maybe I relate to him on a spiritual level. You know what you can cook in an air fryer? Pigeon heads.
On
Black
the horniness scale,
3.5,
3, I think, because the movie isn't about sex. It's about the result of sex.
Yes,
but it's not a sexy movie.
Yeah, okay.
If we do Superbad,
on a scale of
that's like out of the scale
thing to like a non-horny movie to Hairspray. It's not quite Hairspray.
Yeah, it's not quite Hairspray.
Nowhere near that horniness teenager level.
Jeez.
Yeah, so H is a 3 for horniness.
Was it karaoke on Friday night?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And everyone decided it was going to be Power Ballads night. So there was Rise Like a Phoenix,
Ooh.
Bring Him Home from Les Mis.
Oh, no.
And some other ballad.
You know, when somebody's saying, if I was at somewhere and somebody did karaoke and he said, Bring Him Home, I'm like, home. Sounds pretty good right now. Yeah. I would have gone home.
Well, my song was already on the list, so I had to wait. But to try
What power ballad did you do?
Oh, I didn't. No, well, I did. This was the thing. I was like, oh, there's too many ballads tonight. I'm going to do Bon Jovi. So I did.
So you did Wanted
Dead or Alive. Which is...
the most ballad.
No. Always is the most ballad. Always is the one that was in that betting ad.
Okay.
I'm not going to sing it because this is not a singing microphone.
Always. Yep.
So the karaoke host, to try and bring up the atmosphere from Bring Him Home, which is the song that sing about the kid that died.
It's also, can I just say, off topic?
Yeah.
Which apparently this episode is a lot of.
Off topic.
Probably the worst song in Les Mis. That is probably a controversial statement.
You know what?
But it's no...
would have been good.
One Day More. Like...
I'm going to sing One Day More next time we go to karaoke.
You're going to do like all 7 parts?
Yeah. And then for my second song, I'm going to do the Tonight medley from the end of West Side Story.
Anita's gonna get the kicks.
So the karaoke host, in order to bring the mood up, decided to sing Good Morning Baltimore. But he did not have the range for it. Halfway through, he changed octaves.
Right.
What did we give it? A 3 out of 5 on the horny scale. Insults.
Oh, fuck.
Alison Janney says, my daughter is not the brightest bulb in the tanning bed.
Yeah, Alison Janney nails this movie. Your book fell apart. It must have looked at your face. I don't know what that one.
That was the jock.
Oh, the jock that's apparently
Juno
into
is decided is into her, says.
Bleeker's mum was possibly attractive once, but now she just looks like a hobbit.
She does. Very tall hobbit.
And you know that fat hobbit that was in the Goonies?
Yeah, Sean Astin.
There you go. And that girl that smells like soup. That's what I wrote. I thought that was quite funny.
She's like, she gave me this... No, and then she goes, she gave me the stink eye. And Michael Cera goes, no, that's not the stink eye. That's just how she looks. Which is terrible.
It was good. It was good insults. There were good insults. I'm not going to take any of them and use them in my everyday life. I'm going to use not the brightest
bulb in the tanning bed, which is going to age very quickly because they're outlawed in Victoria.
Yes.
Only rich people are allowed to have tanning beds now. What can I say about... Oh, I was going to say Bleeker's mum was possibly attractive once, but now she looks like a hobbit. The narration by Juno is either too much or not enough.
And it's like
it's random.
It's not consistent throughout the whole movie.
Because there was one point where she narrated 3 kind of things in a row.
Yeah.
And then didn't say anything for 25 minutes.
It's like she only narrates in the winter. Like in the summer, I don't remember her narrating.
No, but then it came to the spring and she said 2 things about the mum being the hobbit and the orange Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
So she said them back to back, but then she didn't narrate anything till the end of the movie.
So yeah, it wasn't really narrating. It was just random thoughts that needed to be out loud.
Almost like, oh, this joke's funny. I'll just put it. Juno can say it. Voiceover.
Orange Tic Tacs. Then they'll give us money.
That's based on real. Diablo Cody had a boyfriend who was obsessed with orange Tic Tacs.
Oh, really?
And she had a friend who was a cheerleader who was into teachers.
Ooh, problematic.
And she had a girl at her school that got pregnant.
Oh.
So there's some things that are based on realness in this story. What are we giving it for insults? Each or together?
Each.
I'm going to give it
I'm going to give it a
2.5.
2.5. I'm going to give it a 2. Because they're good insults, they're quirky. Oh, that is not...
We'll get to the break and then you can change.
Yeah, 2. They're good insults. They're not like too harsh though, but they're funny. So I'm not going to use them. If I want an insult, I want an insult.
Yeah.
I want you to be leave like in tears. I'm a nice person for everybody listening.
Brett has his moment.
Just sometimes I hate people.
Brett's a very nice person unless you don't wave at him in traffic. I've never seen you... Well, I've rarely seen you as angry as you get that day that you drove for the first time in 5 years.
Just do the courtesy wave. It's... You know what? Your hands are already up where I can see them. Just... You
only need 2 fingers.
Just 2. Just 2 fingers. You don't need to you don't need to be like, thank you. Just go...
Yeah.
There was a person, though, yesterday when I was driving, obviously, I was on a major road, and it's this weird thing, and the traffic was backed up. I'm like, oh, it's not a keep clear, but I'll keep clear.
Yeah. I did that the other
it's
day.
like 3 lanes. I'm like,
yeah,
I'll keep clear. I don't know if anybody else would. But then this guy was in a van, and he was like, hand up driving, like waving, like, I don't know if he was waving or telling people to stop.
Yeah.
It was just like, thank you, while he was driving his van through this major road.
It was thank you, stop, and praying.
And being like, if the car comes the other way, my hand will stop them.
My hand will stop.
I'm like, good, well done. And so I gave him a wave as well.
Good. I waved at someone today in the car.
Good.
As a courtesy.
That's good.
I often, in the car park, give a courtesy when I'm backing out, because I have a big car. And often people have to wait because it takes me a bit to get out. So I'll give them a wait for waiting in the car park. Even though the car park is like 1 step away from Mad Max. It's like a lawless drive, good luck, you're every person for themselves in a car park.
Most car parks are like that.
No road rules, drive on the wrong
don't have road
side, steal someone's car park, walk in the middle of the bloody lane.
This same day yesterday, when I was driving, I did also have a little road rage moment.
Okay, what a surprise.
Person didn't wave, didn't indicate at the roundabout.
Well, that's shit.
And so then I was like, I could have gone, but they didn't indicate.
Yep.
And then I obviously was like, oh, come on. And then they were like, sorry. So they could see me and they were like, well, no, they fucked up. That's fine.
Yeah, you've made your point.
It was also a very awkward car park. You know, it's like when they design car parks, they don't design them as if people need to drive in them.
No.
They just go space, 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 corner. Is there enough room to turn? Nah, doesn't matter. They'll work it out.
The worst one is the car park of Hogan's Corner.
Oh, although the car park at Central West is pretty bad, and that entrance that's like left, right.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
left,
that's pretty
whatever
bad.
it is.
Yeah. No, but Hogan's Corner,
Anyway.
worst shopping centre car park I've
This
ever
is
been in.
quite irrelevant to a lot of people that are
What
listening.
about the enclosure house in the houses in Juno?
E for enclosure,
E for
referring to the
enclosure
size of houses.
Is the end of Archie
Okay.
De Niro. Jason
Juno's house is average.
It's the first average house we've ever seen.
Probably just a 3 better.
It's double story though.
It's true.
So is
It's a suburban
Michael
house.
Cera's house.
Yeah. There's a freaking
McMansions. In that other place. It's a 3.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a 2.75.
No,
but
it's
not
a 3.
a 2.
It's a 3.
Quotability.
It's a big house. It's right up there with
We both
Kevin McAllister.
First quotability.
I wrote a lot of quotes.
Well, I think you have gone onto your own track of what quotability means.
Somebody said something. I'm like, that's funny. That's a funny quote.
But we're rating the quotability. Isn't that how quotable it is in real life?
Like, you're not going to say "Go Carol"? You said it just before.
Heard people say "Silencio, old man."
Okay.
I have not heard people say
"Being pregnant makes you pee like Seabiscuit."
Maybe I have heard that.
What about I'm a composer. No, mainly commercial stuff. Like what? Commercials?
I haven't heard people say that.
Good.
It is a great line. And in the Rainbow Popcorn Pod, that's good in the dialogue for dialogue. But this one, I've just wrote Silencio Old Man.
It's the only one you could take away as a quote.
Yes, that I've heard people say.
Okay. What
else have you got?
Go Carol being... people said that. Go Carol.
That could be just...
But also, it's very good writing.
It is very good writing.
Especially some of the scenes, like the scene where Juno tells her parents that she's pregnant. Is very good. Who's the father? Paulie Bleeker. I didn't know how they did him.
That's just actually like 3 great actors.
Yeah.
All of them. Elliot Page, J.K. Simmons, and Alison Janney. They are all great actors dramatically and comedically because they have great delivery.
Yes.
J.K. Simmons, just delivers the lines well. And I wrote in my general notes about the dynamics between J.K. Simmons and Alison Janney are really good. They're better than they are between Jennifer Garner and Jason Bateman. But
yeah, I think Alison Janney nails this movie. She doesn't do bad things, really.
No.
Can't think of a bad thing that Alison Janney's done.
I'd be happy for her to play our mum.
Too tall. Our mum is being played by Sally Field. I've discussed it with mum. She's okay with it.
Yeah.
Then we have the same mum as Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah. And
ER, she plays a mum.
We have the same mum as Rachel Griffiths.
Yeah. And Callista Flockhart.
And the same mum as...
She plays a lot of
the little girl that plays Matilda.
Yeah.
In Mrs. Doubtfire.
Her or Jackie Weaver?
Plays Matilda in Matilda.
Sally Field or Jackie Weaver?
I think Jackie Weaver's better for our mum. She's funnier.
Yeah, cool.
In that...
Ooh. Yeah, right. She's more a comedic actress.
No, but in that, like...
If our mum had a bipolar disorder, Sally Field.
Okay.
Just because in ER she plays a mum with bipolar disorder. I haven't even been
as
watching
opposed
ER
to
much.
Jackie Weaver in Cozzy.
Oh, she's just crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you can see mum getting up on the stage and singing 42nd Street. Like Jackie Weaver in Cozzy. All right.
Quotability, there is the opportunity. The writing's very good, so you could quote it a lot. But would you bring the quotes into real life situations?
I'm giving it a 1.
Ooh.
Because Silencio Old Man, the old man is Dwight Schrute. It's Rainn Wilson, but it's just...
I remember when he said... Yeah, true. When he said they don't know Etch-a-Sketch.
Yeah,
I remember that line.
Yeah. And you wrote as well...
Giving it a 2.
What the girl says, all babies want to get born.
All babies want to get born. I'm giving it a 2.
I'm giving it a 1. But this line is good. You're right, there are some good lines.
Yeah.
Somebody else is going to find a precious blessing from Jesus in this garbage dump of a situation.
And also, Alison Janney in the scene with the ultrasound is very good as well.
That's based on real too.
I could imagine, yeah.
Like, Diablo Cody said that her friend from high school that got pregnant was judged by the ultrasound technician. Which is not cool.
Oh, thank God.
Like...
No, just like she says, just stick to your thing and fuck off.
But also...
She doesn't say that, but...
You're a medical professional.
Yeah.
And if any medical professionals are listening, this is what stops kids going.
Yeah.
To things like in the States, Planned Parenthood, or to, go to doctors to get things checked out because they're worried they're going to be judged. Don't judge. Just smear the fucking shit on her belly. Take the pictures.
Yeah.
Say see you later, and take your probably $1,000 it costs for an ultrasound because the medical system in the US is fucked.
Yeah. Well, that's the other reason they don't go.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
But luckily, Jason Bateman sells money for commercials, so they've got plenty of money for the medical expenses.
Yeah, and Vanessa has some job.
She has a job.
Yeah.
Drink. Coke.
They drink Coke.
They drink Coke. That was obvious.
Sunny D and slushies don't fit into our scoring, so
No,
they don't influence it.
I looked up Sunny D just in case it was owned by Coca-Cola or Pepsi, but it's not.
Okay, so it's a 2 for Coke.
2 for Coke, yes.
Yeah. So that is the D of De Niro for what drink is envisioned. If it's a Coke or a Pepsi movie, it is a Coke movie.
De Niro, the E in the De Niro is endurance. I have some serious things to say about this. Do you have some not serious thing? One not serious thing to say first, and then save one not serious thing at the end so we can lighten up what I'm going to talk about.
I think it's more the endurance, and it doesn't endure in the look of it. And the style of it is very, like you said, you could look at this and go, this was made in the 2000s, an indie movie.
Yeah. You're not making titles that look like they've been drawn in pencil these days.
No.
And you're not having a little song with an acoustic guitar. Yeah.
With the fringe on top. I don't know, that turned into Oklahoma.
That dated it.
The serious... what in this movie, what could the serious talk be about?
There's two, but I'm not going to talk about teen pregnancy. Following on from Quotability... The friend says, quite flippantly, you're right. Are you just going to nip it in the bud?
Just going to nip it in the bud?
So, the decision to get the A word is made quite quickly.
Which, yes, because she's that type of person, Juno.
Yes, she's a very practical person.
Yeah.
Now, Diablo Cody... So, first I wrote the talk about it is casual at the start.
Yep.
But also makes sense for the character. But I wonder... And I wrote, I wonder if the debate about it was as raging and divisive then as it is now. That was my first note.
Yeah.
Then I did some research, and it wasn't. So,
Okay.
Diablo Cody has said she would not write this movie now. Because of the debate.
I don't know what film studio would make a movie with a topic of abortion in it at the moment.
Well, I don't think they'd even make one to do with teen pregnancy at the moment. That's divisive enough.
Yeah.
Even if they just went teen pregnancy, wouldn't it be really nice to adopt? And the abortion thing wasn't even discussed.
Yeah.
This would be really nice if it adopted. So this is a symptom, and I think this is actually worse now than it was back then, of a no-win situation.
Well, of course it's worse now.
So pro-choice people were saying that the movie is a pro-life movie because she's convinced to not have an abortion.
Okay.
Right?
But that was their choice.
Pro-life people say it's a pro-choice movie because she chooses between abortion and adoption. So both groups, or factions of both groups, didn't like the movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Diablo Cody has come out and said she's pro-choice and not tried to put that into the movie as a political statement, but wrote the movie in such a way that it demonstrated choice. But the movie was still very divisive. And
it's always been a
divisive
topic. Even when I was in high school and you had to do a debate or you had to write about something.
Yeah.
It was like the mecca of choice. It was everybody was like, I want to do abortion. I want to debate the topic of abortion. I went on a completely different thing in my presentation, whatever, was on seal clubbing. Don't know why that's funny, but
pro-choice. That's a joke. Don't club seals.
To wrap that now in a funnier thing, I forgot that people burnt CDs.
Yeah.
Juno was like, oh, Mark, you burnt these CDs for me. I'm like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to make you some CDs. One. Okay.
No, you just make a playlist on Spotify.
Yeah. Or you just say, YouTube, find it.
Yeah, or you'd look it up yourself. Yeah. Or if you too, they just like...
You just put it on
You
there.
just randomly
I
put
saw
them on
a meme
people's
the other
thing.
day.
Oh, God, here we go. Yay! Ding, 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 ding.
That said, I feel like U2 is one of those bands that no one really liked, but everyone assumed everyone else liked it, and so no one wanted to say anything and make it awkward.
I hated that. You two
I didn't-
have some good songs.
I think
They're not
U2's
like,
a very good band.
I'm like, they're good. They write good music. It's all yay if that's your thing, right?
What I don't like...
What I don't like is them forcing their music upon me.
What I don't like is Bono being like, oh, donate money to save the starving children, but all of the U2 band money goes through the Cayman Islands, so he doesn't pay any tax in Ireland.
Ooh, dodgy Bono.
So
That's an ono from Bono.
yes.
That's a no from Bono. That's better. That was better.
Not a
Rewind.
Yoko, not a Yoko.
Not a
Bono.
Yoko Ono.
So the endurance score.
I don't know. It's a hard one.
I think
The
it's a 3 because it's still funny.
It's still funny.
I think if you took the abortion stuff out of it, it would. No, I actually think
I like
unless you're viewing it from unless you're a pro-lifer, stupid, super conservative.
Yeah.
Which I can safely say is hopefully any of our listeners. And if you are that stupidly conservative and I've insulted you, then don't listen anymore.
You probably, if you ask, you probably haven't enjoyed much of the movies we've done. They loved Con Air though.
Why?
Because it was, it's
about family.
It's like American meh, violence meh,
and man,
guns
and
meh,
men being men,
yeah,
crashing planes and
yeah,
shit,
and fucking
breaking people's noses in pub car parks.
Yeah, standing up for their woman like all men
yeah,
should.
America.
Yeah, there's no gays here. Oh, there was a gay.
Oh, that was...
Yeah.
Wouldn't have liked it.
Anyway.
They wouldn't have given it a 21.5 like we did out of 75. Anyway, it's... If you took the abortion stuff out of it, I think it would, as a whole, stand up very well.
But it's not about...
But it's not about that.
It's not a movie about abortion. It's a movie about a teenage pregnancy.
And so I also think the subject of abortion is addressed reasonably well.
And then they just go, bang, this was an option. She considered it. She decided not to. Then she went with this. Let's not talk about it again. Move on.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it a 3.75.
3.75.
I was going to give it a 4, but there's only half of a coloured person in it. So
yeah,
I took
that doesn't stand up. The
off.
look and the style of it don't really endure. So
No.
I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Speaking of the style of it, I'm nostalgic for that kind of style of movie.
I think the thing I found nostalgic about it was that I feel like my friends at the time liked it. And like at the soundtrack, I was like, oh, I remember this song. I remember this song.
Yeah.
Because like in the car with friends and they just like, let's put on the Juno soundtrack.
Oh, I didn't have those friends.
No.
I am a little bit
I
nostalgic.
don't know how many of them I'm still friends with now.
Yeah.
But.
I'm a little bit nostalgic for it because this movie and this kind of style of movie was around when Shane and I first started dating and we watched lots of movies.
Right, yeah.
And quite a few indie movies. Now we don't. Now we just watch Avengers.
Yeah.
We just watch the Marvel movies.
Antithesis
Except Nope. I saw Nope.
Oh, Nope.
Good.
I was going to comment when you checked into the cinemas and
Yeah.
put Nope, and then I was going to I was trying to think of a clever comment being like, well, are you there or no?
Oh,
Because you put there and then you wrote Nope, so it's like, I'm here, Nope.
No, we were there.
Because you can't put watching Nope.
I could have,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Yeah.
We went to gold class to be a bit fancy, and society is fucked.
Moving on.
But the pandemic has ruined people's socializing
Yeah.
and ability to follow social rules.
Yeah.
If you
Like a courtesy wave in the car.
if you had a group of mates
Throwback.
to go to see a movie,
Yes.
you wouldn't go to Gold Class.
Gold
Class-
I've gone to Gold Class
Gold
with mates
Class is
before,
not a group of mates,
but not
thing.
like 6 of them. Only like 2.
5, right?
Nah,
The
too
max
many.
chairs in a row in Gold Class is 4.
Yes.
So there was 4 mates in the big comfy leather recliners,
Yeah.
with the romantic little table in between,
Yeah.
and then 1 mate on the other side of the aisle.
Oh.
They talked.
No, they didn't talk across each
The
other.
guy talked across the aisle.
Fucking hell.
Also, Nope is a 2-hour movie.
Yep.
Gold Class, you can bring your food in. We went to see the 8:40
You can bring your
session.
food in?
No, well, they bring the food in.
Yeah.
Shane and I went to see the 8:40 session, so we just had dessert.
Okay.
Way too sweet. Village, if you're listening. The brownie sundae, way too sweet. I couldn't finish it.
Back in the day, used to be a good brownie.
Nah, because it's not brownie.
No, they had
little-
this baked cheesecake that was amazing.
It's little chocolate-covered brownie bits on 3 scoops of ice cream that has chocolate sauce and a salted caramel top.
Nah, too much.
Way too sweet. After I'd had a loaded shake that was sweet because it had the caramel popcorn on top.
Okay.
These guys had a 3-course meal come through,
Yeah.
which I decided not to do because it's a scary movie. Because I didn't want a suspenseful moment to be ruined by an air hostess coming putting
with
the
your
food.
pizza. Yeah. That's what I hated when I worked at Gold Class. I hated that.
The
I was
timing.
like, I have to time this, and you just have to like squat down and put it in without getting in their way.
Yeah, because you can't lean in front
And
of someone.
it's dark, and the tables back in the
Tiny.
day, they're too small.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I move the popcorn and
Yeah.
put your pizza here? Here's your wedges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hope they picked up on the microphone.
So
I didn't like it. That's why I was like, just put me behind the bar.
these guys had a 3-course meal come through. They needed to put each element of the food they were eating on their Instagram story.
Oh, fuck off.
So
Get off your phone.
every time a food came in,
Ugh.
one of them would open their phone, turn on the flash to take a little video of their food that had just come in.
I would have complained.
I thought of saying something to one of them, but then there were 5 of them and they were all very tall and big and were in Werribee. So I didn't.
You complained to the cinema people.
Yeah, but then I know from you having worked in a cinema, like, it makes it shit for you to have to go and say something. And
Yeah,
whatever.
but it makes... Yeah, if you...
I'm saying it to all of our listeners. If you're going to go and see a movie, don't be a dick.
Or, how about this? Just don't be a dick, full stop.
Generally, actually, whether you're at the movies or not. I'm nostalgic for a time when people went to the cinemas and behaved appropriately, 2007.
Yep, cool. But before people had phones...
Speaking of phones, it made me landline for nostalgic. Fuck. It made me nostalgic for a landline phone.
Yeah.
And a burger phone. I never had one, but I wanted one.
It was a thing. I remember friends being obsessed with it and trying to get one. Also, what made me nostalgic was the receptionist at the Women Now, because they're for
Boysenberry
women now.
condoms, yeah.
She was
nostalgic for them.
Yeah. I love Boysenberry.
Oh.
What was that? She was playing a Nintendo DS.
Was she?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, I remember the Nintendo DS. Then I went looking to see if I still had it, but I'm pretty sure I got rid of it.
I have an original Game Boy.
I have a Nintendo 64.
Oh, yeah, that's good. We should play some in the break. Nostalgia score, I'm going to give it a 275.
275.
Yep.
I'm just going to give it an average, because, at this stage I was 19. I'm aging myself.
Oh, yeah, and
I'm just going to give it a 2.5.
in terms of rememberability, which goes in with nostalgia, yeah, 2.5.
You're giving it a 2.5 now?
Yeah.
Okay, so cool. Impact.
Now, it did have an impact on the abortion debate. We've talked about that.
But did it?
Well, it entered into.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had an impact, but it was a part of.
Okay.
So that, you're right, it just belongs in endurance. There is a thing called the Juno Effect.
Okay.
After this movie,
Yeah.
there was a spike in teen pregnancies.
Uh-oh. Coincidence.
some people called the Juno Effect. Some people just were like, well, maybe kids just got pregnant.
Well, yeah, maybe people had more sex. Teenagers had more sex.
Maybe they had more sex because of Superbad, which came out in the same year.
Maybe they had more sex because they wanted to.
That's true also. And maybe
so you're saying that it should have an impact because people got more pregnant?
No, because the Juno Effect is a thing.
Oh, God.
The Juno Effect.
I think the impact a bit is that it was like the breakthrough role for Elliot Page.
The Juno Effect is a phenomenon that critics claim happened after Juno was released in 2007. The claim is that pop culture influences young minds into acting outside the boundaries of the norm and behaving as they see in the movies. So these people are claiming that because of Juno, lots of babies were conceived in old armchairs. From quirky girls that wanted to have sex with the average cross-country athlete of their school.
Yeah.
That they were also in a band with. I'm not saying I'm giving it a score because of it, but
you're saying it had an impact in the real world.
It's a thing.
Right.
That people say is a thing.
I think that it made this type of movie more popular. You know what I mean? Like, people, they wanted, then studios were like, oh, well, Juno was successful. We should try and make Juno.
We can make a little indie kind of quirky...
Let's make 500 Days of Summer. Ooh.
Acoustic soundtrack thing.
Let's make...
It did suggest to watch 500 Days of Summer after this.
Good. Breakthrough role for Elliot Page.
Yes. Jason Reitman hadn't made a movie before this.
Really?
Which made it hard for him to get funding for this.
Mm.
No, he hadn't had something to say to a studio, I've done this, give me money.
Oh, okay, yep.
But Juno became that thing for him.
Yeah.
It was obviously a breakthrough for Diablo Cody, who...
stopped stripping, so that's an impact.
No, she'd already stopped stripping.
Right.
And she was like doing some speaking, telling her story of her life as a stripper and getting out of it. And then someone got her a book deal, and someone read the book and was like, you need to write a movie. And she was going to write a movie about her life as a stripper, but wrote Juno instead.
But then... Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But then Magic Mike happened.
Yeah, 10 years later.
Maybe like a 2?
It gave us Elliot Page.
Elliot Page had done movies before this, but this was like his big breakthrough.
Yeah. And he really struggled. Not only because of the sudden fame, but because of the sudden fame of playing a girl.
Right.
While also having his own gender dysphoria. And because Juno is a girl character, and the point is a girl gets pregnant, on the promotion circuit, they made Elliot wear dresses.
Yep.
Which they didn't normally
do. Yeah, if you're a Best Actress nominee at the Oscars, you're meant to wear a fancy dress.
And he has said in numerous interviews this year, and since their transition, has said it was like one of the lowest points of his life while he was being nominated for Oscars.
Yeah, while it was the peak of your career, it's and also real shit.
Even said in an interview with Oprah, was like, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, what are you whinging about? You got to go to the Oscars and you nominated for an Oscar. Life can't be that hard. Like, no, but it is.
But it is, yeah.
Especially when you're going to the Oscars presenting as something that you're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's... As much as it did launch his career, and he's gone on, obviously, to do great things, it was a very tough time for Elliot Page. And I think to act that well, while he said there were some days where he felt like he couldn't come out of his trailer.
Yeah.
And he was late for scenes and late for meetings and stuff. But got through it, did an amazing job, and skyrocketed himself into Hollywood stardom.
Hollywood stardom.
So much, like, he is the actor that everyone knew in the Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
Like when the Umbrella Academy was launched, it was like, this is cool based on a graphic novel comic series.
Yeah.
And it's got Elliot Page in it.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, well, you know, they're good. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a point for that.
You're giving it a point for Elliot Page.
And I'm giving it a point for the Juno Effect.
All right.
And I'm giving it, as you've written, it was big for the other people.
Yeah, and it was like, this is, if you said, if somebody came up to me and was like, I wanna watch an indie 2000s movie, I go Juno. It's the peak.
I go Napoleon Dynamite.
Where it's like, what's the best gangster movie? And like, Godfather.
Inglourious Bastards. No, that's not. And I also meant to say Reservoir Dogs.
Okay. It's a different type of gangster.
It's also not
Bastards.
a gangster movie,
You know.
Reservoir Dogs either.
It's like, what's the best
Yeah.
this? What's the best epic this? What's it?
That's high on
Juno.
impact then. I'm going to give it a 3.5 of impact.
Ooh.
Because I disagree about the best representation of 2000s indie. Because to me, I think that's Napoleon Dynamite.
I think it is, but this did it better for me. It was a bit more...
Yeah, for you, Napoleon Dynamite's a little too far, I think.
This is more
Palatable.
mainstream.
Yeah. I think
Which I
Napoleon
guess could take
Dynamite's
it away
great.
from its
Indiness.
indiness.
But it's also, as I mentioned before, indie, but has the word fox,
yeah.
as the big opening.
It's still
So
it's still
not
the
that
same...
Yeah.
That was not bad. That was like a helicopter.
Your second best impersonation of a year and a half of podcasts has been of a snare drum.
What is there? It's probably a Family Guy reference. And it's somebody's on the phone, it's like, oh, that's the helicopter. And the person making the helicopter sound is like... And they're like, that's not a helicopter. And then later in the episode, a helicopter takes off and it has the same noise. It sounds like Family Guy.
It's Family Guy.
I'll give it a 3
Okay.
impact.
All right. Done.
I think that actually, maybe I'll do a 3.5. No, 3.5.
Rewatchability.
I think that it Jennifer Garner is very good in this. It's a kind of a nothing character.
She plays,
But
she plays high tense mum very well.
Yeah.
She's not. She's Alias.
She is Alias.
Very different.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'll say about that.
Okay.
Rewatchability, easy to rewatch. It's because it's a nice movie. It's quirky,
still funny.
It's fun. It's still funny. Because there's a lot of like little, the way the dialogue is.
Yeah.
It's like little quips here and there. You rewatch it, you pick up other new things each time.
I found it a little bit harder to watch because I was just thinking a lot about Elliot Page playing a girl.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to rewatch in that sense.
Yeah. But like I said, he did an amazing job in this film to do it so well because Juno as a character is not too feminine other than the fact that she's having a baby.
Yeah.
And I think that works well because I think
it's not a girly girl.
But also, like, Elliot Page has never really had girly girl characters to play.
Yes. Yeah.
But then, as you said, being nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars, you've got to wear a gown.
Yeah.
And
Elliot
you
Page
are a character that is inherently female by the fact that they're... Inherently female in 2007 by the fact that they're pregnant, because Seahorse Dad was not a thing in 2007, certainly.
It's a simple
black dress.
Nothing too girly.
Yeah. But girly in the fact that it is a dress.
Yes.
And not the suit that I'm sure he would have been more comfortable in. He looks great in a suit now.
Like there at the Oscars this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boop, 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 boop.
Great. All right.
What that has to do with rewatchability, I don't know. But also that does make it harder. That's where we were going.
Yeah.
Hard to rewatch.
A little bit, but it's still funny. He still does an amazing job. Michael Cera is still Michael Cera. I think if you cast Michael Cera as Paulie Bleeker now, he'd do exactly the same thing.
The quirkiness of it wears off with each rewatch.
I think it needs to be a bit of time in between.
Yeah.
To rewatch it.
There will be people that would watch this on repeat and love it. That's their thing.
People are quirky. Some people.
Yep.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
3.5.
For rewatchability.
I'm going to give it a 2.5. Just cause.
I've pretty much said everything that I wanted to say generally, so I'm just going to give you my score.
Very good casting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And very good acting and very good dialogue. Pretty good directing. It's a good movie. That's basically what makes a movie. So
all of these things are good and they add up to be a movie.
Yes.
So the movie is good.
They add up to be a 4 out of 5 for me.
3.75.
3.75.
Yep.
Ooh.
The only thing in my notes that I haven't said is this has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's the highest of a lot of movies we've done.
Yeah.
And I haven't said our Wednesday wisdom quote, which goes to J.K. Simmons.
Oh, J.K., you're so wise.
Look, I'm not going to do the impersonation here. Look, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly who you are. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with.
Oh.
And whether that is
JK.
the girl with the stink eye, or whether that is Paulie Bleeker, or whether that is your calculus teacher. Maybe not your calculus teacher if you're a cheerleader. I'm giving it a 3.75, so what's the score for it overall?
Overall, the Archie Q De Niro score is a 51.25.
It's out of 100. We're never going to get close.
You never know.
We've done a couple of decent movies.
So that puts it in second place. Behind Goldmember still.
Goldmember.
I don't know quite.
Oh, that is weird.
There you go, quotability.
Yeah, see, quotability.
Yes, so there you go. It is a 51.25 out of 100.
All right, let's do some reviews after a little break, and then we'll do some trivia on what is coming next.
2 Drink Cinema!
All right, some reviews. I'm going to start with a 5-star.
Good.
Which is along your lines of the overall summary.
Right.
It's from Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
5 stars. Everything from the vocabulary to how they display the characters' emotions to the music to the script to the cast was absolutely perfect. This story The story wasn't mind-blowingly good, but that wasn't necessary either, since it was executed so well. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I think the story is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sal.
Okay, Sal.
Just doesn't agree with Rebecca.
Okay.
Terrible movie.
Oh.
Wife made me watch this into thinking it was some rom-com. However, it turned out to be some terrible acting of a teenage pregnancy movie. Can't believe this is what kids of my generation used to watch in 2007. Terrible, simply terrible.
Oh, wow. This one is another person in your... I would highly recommend the film. Right from the writing to the direction, the casting, music composition, and songs. But this one's better.
Okay, good.
Where do you even start with this absolute masterpiece? Well, I guess it started with The Chair.
Oh.
If you haven't seen it, you must watch it. If you've seen it, then congrats. Hands down the best film to ever grace the earth. The kind you just never want to end. So when it does, you just have to start watching it all over again, maybe even 3 times in a row when necessary.
No, see, that's too much.
Yeah.
Vauxy, 1 star. There's not a lot of 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
Bad film and very boring. Do not recommend. Lol. Shrek is better than this.
That's a bloody millennial with their bloody memes.
Shrek is better than this.
I loved this movie.
I will say that. It's a good movie. But Shrek is better than Juno.
It's certainly... we should do Shrek. It's going to score high. Rewatchability,
Maybe
quotability.
that's what we're doing next week. No.
Yeah.
Nostalgia.
Impact, I don't know. I saw a thing the other day that apparently DreamWorks was making another movie. Anyway, no, we don't have time.
Okay, good.
I loved the movie. It's like wow that you can't explain it. I mean, wow to such a supporting family and that craze having a child of Vanessa. I mean, no other has portrayed such a social issue in such a beautiful way. Moreover, acting is fabulous and girls' determination not to suicide is great. I should have pre-read that one.
On that note, let's move on to next week.
Yeah. Okay. Trivia me.
Trivia next week.
All right.
This movie was released on the 24th of October, 1997.
Okay.
And it grossed $12.5 million from a $36 million budget.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was a failure.
It was a failure at the box office.
Titanic.
Yeah. It went down like the Titanic,
It's a
though.
Titanic failure.
No?
Not Titanic, not Aladdin. 1997. No.
No. It was directed by Andrew Niccol.
No.
The two leading people became a couple during the filming of this movie. And I decided to watch this after Flubber because I was forced to watch this movie in science class.
Oh. Gattaca.
Gattaca!
Oh, you
With
Ethan Hawke.
and Uma Thurman.
Oh, they got together on this movie.
There you go.
I've watched this movie
There's
twice.
some impact for you.
I've watched this movie twice because kids that I was tutoring were studying it for English, not at science.
I watched it. We didn't study it. We just watched it in biology one day.
Because it's the last week of term and no one can be fucked teaching anything,
Yeah.
so everyone watches movies. All right, Gattaca.
Gattaca.
What a flop.
Yeah, right?
It's not a terrible movie from memory.
No, I don't think it was either. But I just think looking at some of the comments that the marketing and stuff was poor. And it opened at number 5 at the box office, trailing some good movies and some I've never heard of. 4.3 in the first weekend, and then just after that. So it was released on Ultra HD Blu-ray in 2021.
Oh, that's good.
There you go.
How can we watch it?
On a TV.
Okay, good.
Let me just confirm.
So Juno, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Gattaca.
Gattaca can be watched on Stan if you're in the Australias, and on Amazon Prime
if you're not. All right, so it's the 6 degrees from Juno to Gattaca.
Which I didn't do well because I don't know much that Ethan Hawke's in.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ethan Hawke.
All right, Juno to Gattaca.
Juno to Gattaca. Alison Janney's done a lot.
She has done a lot. Uma Thurman's done a few things.
Yeah.
All right, we can do this, and we can do this quicker than we have for the last 2 weeks.
Yes, we will do it quicker than the last 2 weeks because it's not an Australian movie.
Yeah, but also...
Jude Law's in it, isn't he?
Pretty shit. I think so.
Yeah, Jude Law. I don't know if that helps.
Okay.
Juno, Alison Janney, West
Uma
Wing,
Thurman.
Tonya, Hairspray. Wasn't Elliot Page in a... Oh, no, that just loops me back to Alison Janney.
We do that a lot.
We do that a lot.
Okay.
Bueller.
I think I've got it.
Okay.
I've got something, right?
Yep.
This is bizarre. Right? Well, it's actually not that bizarre. Juno stars Elliot Page.
Oh, no, I've got something. Yep.
Right? Or do you... Right. Write yours before you forget.
Oh, yeah. No, because I've got this. Because I always forget this minor character. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I've got it.
Okay.
Yours.
Mine is Juno stars Elliot Page, who was in Inception with
Correct.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Correct.
Who is in Titanic with Kate Winslet. Who is in The Holiday with Jude Law, who's in Gattaca.
All right. I've got J.K. Simmons.
Yep.
Is in this. He is also... Oh, no. I have to add a line then.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
Because he's also in a Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
Right?
The same
with Tom
movie,
Holland.
though. With Tom Holland.
And Tom Holland is in a Spider-Man movie with Michael Keaton.
Okay.
Who is in a Batman movie with the guy that plays Alfred, who plays Alfred in the same Batman movie that Uma Thurman's in as Poison Ivy. Because I always forget those minor characters.
Yeah.
Because we're always like,
It has to be a
it
big
was
name.
in the Batman franchise.
Yeah.
Like, because I think last week we were like, Nicole Kidman was in a Batman and Michael Keaton was a Batman. Like, they're connected because of Alfred.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I did. J.K. Simmons was in the second of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies. Michael Keaton was in the first of Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies.
Right.
And Alfred was in the first, second, third, and fourth of the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah. Okay.
The 90s Batman.
The 90s
and Uma Thurman
Batmans.
was...
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
All right.
Okay.
So next week, Gattaca.
Gattaca. All right. Are we doing a known for, or
Nah.
are we already a long episode?
Yeah.
All right. Next week, Gattaca.
We'll skip the known for because I think we've probably done Uma Thurman before.
Yeah, probably. All right.
Yes, Gattaca. I don't know what to expect. I remember watching it twice.
I know it's about DNA.
It's about science and someone's in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think Jude Law's in a wheelchair.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Next week, Gattaca. Thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Lee.
2 drinks in a month.